Okay, so my wines visually, you can see there is the non-filtering. You see a little bit of haze in the wine, and you see some sediments on the bottom. Both of these are actually very important aspects of the quality of the taste of my wines. If I filter this stuff out, as is typically done, because this is going to cause a problem. If you filter that out, you're filtering out a lot of the antioxidant capability of the wine. The haze is proteins and pectins that have antioxidant capability, and the sediment, when I'm making wine, I actually include some sediment in the wine. I don't make the wine perfectly clear. I want sediment because the sediment is antioxidant, and I'm not adding sulfites to my wine, okay? And I have to have antioxidants in the wine that are covering my bases. So this sediment, in a real sense, if I take that out, I have to add sulfite to replace it because I need antioxidants in my wine. And this, again, is a cross-section of the local grapes in the area. This is mostly Seyval Blanc. Seyval Blanc is our typical grape, and with a little bit of Riesling, Chardonnay, Pinot Gris, and Cayuga White. Okay. So
now this is the Hudson Heritage White.
Right.
Do you want to talk a little bit about
Hudson Heritage is the wine trail. The Shawangunk Wine Trail got together a few years ago and said, why don't we do a regional wine, a wine that shows people that the Hudson Valley actually can produce these really interesting wines that have their own terroir, that have their own nature because of where they're grown. And it's unusual because although this is a very typical European concept where Chablis, all of the grapes are grown in the town of Chablis, it's never been done in the United States. There's never been wines where you could go to different wineries and have wine of the same name, and what that meant was that the wine had the same quality, had the same sort of basic makeup. So we came up with this Hudson Heritage. It's a Seyval-based white wine. It can have a little bit of residual sugar, but usually has very little, and mine has none. It can have a little bit of oak aging, but it doesn't have to. Mine doesn't have any. And the idea is that when you go to different wineries and taste the Hudson Heritage, that you have a very similar wine from winery to winery because it's made of the same basic grapes using the same basic wine techniques. And the idea is a seafood wine. Seyval Blanc is a non-fruity, drier style of wine. It's not going to be so flavorful that it gets in the way of the scallops and lobster and delicately flavored seafood. And I was never really a big proponent of Seyval until I started making Seyval. And now I'm a huge proponent of Seyval. I'm very happy with, and I think the little bit of vinifera sort of fleshes this wine out. But basically this wine is this nice minerally character, dry but soft white wine.
Yeah, I have really become a big Seyval Blanc fan.
Yeah.
It's nice, it's crisp, it's fresh.
Yep, it's fresh, and it doesn't have the fruitiness, it doesn't have this overpowering fruitiness. It has more of a complexity, delicacy and complexity. Light, delicate, complex white wine, which is one of the reasons I left California. You can't do this in California. No. They know that they can't do it, and there's California wineries now that are hunting for land in New York State in order to make wines like this. These vibrant, dry, delicate wines are just something you can't do in a warm climate.